Hi, everyone. Just want to record a video about the end being near. I'm recording this on April 10th, and that means we've got less than 20 days or 19 days till the very, very end of the semester, and with a bunch of stuff we have to do in between. So I want to go over some of the schedule stuff as it exists. So take a look at what I'm showing you here. Okay, so let me just walk you through a couple things here with the schedule. The first thing is that as I've mentioned with the last video that I shared with everybody, the last announcement, I'm all complete done on commenting on the AI research or AI experiment reflection essays. And I've talked with a couple of you already about revisions, and I'm perfectly happy to talk with more of you about it. I always think that revision is a really good idea because, revision is really what writing's about. And so if you're interested in revising and you want to improve the grade and things like that, let's talk. I can meet with people face to face, or I can meet with people via Zoom. All you have to do if you're interested in is shoot me an email and we'll make it work. Okay. You have until the 23rd to talk about a revision, and I'll point this out on the calendar. Okay. Okay. So here we are here in this week. And thanks for the book reviews. I thought those were great. Really interesting. I didn't, Danielle and Shane came up with the book ideas, and I thought that they worked really well together in this sort of interesting way of kind of extremes reactions in terms of reactions to AI. And I thought that the comparison was really interesting. I made one comment on, I believe, a comment on Shane's book review that it would be really interesting to get these two writers into a room and have them argue about stuff. So, okay, so next week, the last three contributions to the AI news and updates assignment are due by the end of the day today. That would be April 13th. This is the website assignment, of course. After I finish recording this video, I will make sure that all the posts that people have put so far that are pending have been approved. And you want to wrap that up this week. The other thing that happens on Monday next week is the required discussion for the final debriefing about the AI News and Updates project. This is also where you can ask about the report that's supposed to be a part of that. And the other thing that is due on Monday is the third and final progress report on the AI research question essay. Remember, everyone's supposed to write their own independent research essay about some topic having to do with AI. And we're going to start talking about that in peer review next week. And the last update on the progress report update is due on Monday. Okay. The AI News Updates report is due on April 15th. Again, that's a short report where you basically just sort of explain what it is that you included in the website assignment on the Writing, Rhetoric, and AI website, and also what you thought of about some other people's project and things like that. It doesn't have to be a long essay because you've already done most of the work by just finding the stuff to put it on that website in the first place. And keep working on your research essay because beginning on April 20th, we're going to start peer review for the AI research question essay. So that means by midnight on April 20th, you need to have a mostly done draft ready to share with your group for peer review, which I'll set that up in advance. And so everybody will be in small groups for that. On April 22nd, we conclude the peer review. So that needs to be done sometime by midnight on April 22nd. And it says by the end of the day, this is the AI research question as essay is due. I will say that I will probably go ahead and change that. So it's by the end of the day on Friday, which would be April 24th, is when you have to be done and posted with your AI research question essay. The other thing we're going to start talking about is the Opportunity for Success Final. Let me take a second to explain this Opportunity for Success Final. Okay, so there's a final that's due by the end of time, which is April 29th. I'll talk about that in a second. And during finals week, and what's going to happen is that you will be working on the final while I am working on grading your essays. And when you hand in the final, I will hopefully be able to give you back the grading comments for your AI research question essay. Let me talk a little bit about the final itself. I call it an opportunity for success because everybody needs to take the final. It's not an optional thing. However, it's pretty easy because all I'm really asking you to do is reflect on some of the some of the things that we've read and talked about this semester. And it's not just for success because the grade for the final will not lower your overall grade. So this is what I'm getting at. By the time we get to talking about, by the time I get to reading and grading the finals, I will have graded everything else, including your research essays, the contributions to the collaborative bibliography on the website, and also the discussion grade for the second half of the semester. Okay. The grade you will receive for the final will be at least as good as your overall grade. And if you really do a really good job in the final, your grade will improve. The main reason I think it's important to have a final in this class is basically to make everybody accountable to have followed some of the readings and stuff. And also, again, to give people a chance to improve their grade because they were very active in participating in the discussion. So it will, I promise you, it'll be pretty easy, but it's something you got to do. Okay, back to the calendar here. So talk about the very ends here. So April 22nd, I will pass out a final. The AI research question essay is due. It'll be due on April 24th. I'll change it on the calendar. Then we enter finals week. Now, very important thing noted about finals week that I haven't noted here. First off, I'm actually going to be out of the country during finals week. My wife and I are going to be traveling. So the last day that you can physically meet with me is April 23rd. The last day that I can probably do a Zoom session with you is going to be April 25th, which is a Saturday. I'll be unavailable during finals week, but hopefully I'll be online enough so that people will be able to do things like email and stuff like that. But I won't be available for things like Zoom, that kind of thing. Okay. You turn in your essay on April 22nd, April 24th, that sort of thing. I will read it, comment on it, and turn it back to you when you turn in your final. The final is due to me no later than 5 p.m. on April 29th, 2026. Okay. That is the end of time for the class. Now, there's something I need to explain about the end of time for the class. What the end of time means is on April 29th at 5 p.m., everything is fine. You know, children are playing, birds are singing. It's late spring, so it could be beautiful weather, it could be snow. You never know. It's Michigan, right? But on April 29th at 5:01 p.m., time ceases to exist. We're sucked into a void, a black hole, a nothingness. Ah! Dramatic, right? Yeah. So what I mean is that is the absolute positively last deadline for turning anything in. So if you and I have made any sort of deals, or if you want to try to work something out and turn something in late, then that's it. So if you were to say to me, hey, Steve, is there any way I can turn in the final on April 30th? I would say there is no April 30th. Okay. So starting on April 29th at 5 o'clock for all three of my classes, I'm going to turn in grades. And I guarantee you, I will be for sure done with doing that no later than the beginning of the day in April 30th. So that deadline is very, very firm. So just keep that in mind. I think that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions about the end. We're almost there. You've almost made it. We're very, very close. Okay. See you online.